Every Wimbledon final since 1902 has been played with a Slazenger ball. That is the longest-running sponsorship in the history of sport, longer than any football shirt deal, any Olympic partnership, any name on any stadium. Slazenger has been there since before either World War, since before television, since before the word brand meant anything close to what it means today. Here is what almost nobody watching Wimbledon this year will think about. The company that actually owns that name today did not build any of that history. It bought it for £40 million, after the people who actually built it had already failed. That is not really a story about tennis. It is a story about how Sports Direct built an entire empire, and it is happening on a shelf near you right now, even if you have never noticed it. Walk into a Sports Direct and look at the names on the shelves. Dunlop, Slazenger, Lonsdale, Karrimor. Every single one of those names carries decades of heritage that took someone else generations to build. Sports Direct did not build a single one of them. It bought them, cheap, after they had already gone wrong for somebody else. Slazenger was founded in 1881 by two brothers in London. It became the official ball of Wimbledon in 1902 and never lost that contract once, through 2 world wars and over a century of tennis. By 2004, the company behind it was in financial trouble. Sports Direct stepped in and bought the brand for £40 million. Karrimor, the outdoor gear brand trusted by hikers and climbers for generations, was bought for £5 million. £5 million. For a brand that had been on the backs of serious mountaineers since the 1940s. Lonsdale, the boxing brand that has been on the shorts of fighters for decades, changed hands after going through administration. Its trademark fought over by 2 separate companies before Sports Direct ended up holding it. None of these were brands Sports Direct built from nothing. Every single one was a rescue. And every rescue came at a price set by someone else's failure, not by the value of what was actually being bought. Here is the part that should make you look at that shelf differently. The heritage, the trust, the 100 years at Wimbledon. None of that came with a price tag that reflected what it was actually worth to the people who had spent generations building it. It came with the price tag of a company in administration, desperate for any buyer at all. When a business fails, its assets go to market at whatever someone will pay that week, not what they are worth, what the urgency of the situation will accept. Sports Direct understood that better than almost anyone in British retail. Picture the moment this actually happens, because it happens more often than people realize. A heritage brand, decades old, built by people who are long gone, runs into financial trouble. Lawyers and administrators take over. The brand itself, the name, the logo, the history, becomes an asset on a balance sheet to be sold to whoever bids for it. Sports Direct is almost always in that room. Not because it wants to make boxing gloves or tennis rackets from scratch. Sports Direct does not want to build a brand. It wants to buy one that has already been built by other people over decades and is now available because those other people ran out of money. The name on the shelf never changes. The story printed on the label, the heritage, the since 1881, none of that gets updated. The only thing that changes is who is collecting the money every time you buy it. You are not buying into a company's history when you pick up that Slazenger racket. You are buying into Sports Direct's decision that someone else's history was worth £40 million at the exact moment it was failing. Here is what that strategy actually built. Sports Direct's own founder has described the core of the business plainly. Discounted prices on big brands like Nike and Adidas, subsidized by high-margin sales on the brands it owns outright. Dunlop, Slazenger. The names with decades of trust already built in, sold at a margin the big brands could never offer, because Sports Direct paid almost nothing for the trust in the first place. The mathematics of it are worth sitting with. If you acquire a brand that consumers already trust for £5 million, and that trust allows you to sell product at a margin of 30% rather than 15%, you have bought yourself a permanent pricing advantage that compounds with every single sale. The consumer sees a familiar name and reaches for it. They do not see the administration filing that made that name available. That is the actual mechanism. Not innovation, not investment in new products. Acquisition of distressed brands at distressed prices, then sold at full price to customers who have no idea any of that history exists. The founder who built this empire started with a £10,000 loan from his parents. He turned that loan and a habit of buying companies at the exact moment they could not defend their own value into Britain's largest sporting goods retailer. So, next time you are in a Sports Direct and you pick up something with a name that feels instantly familiar, that feels like it has always been trustworthy, ask yourself why it feels that way. It is not because Sports Direct earned that trust. It is because somebody else did, decades ago, and then lost everything. And Sports Direct was there with a checkbook the moment they did. The label says heritage. The receipt says acquisition. This is the markup.